I get comments like this a lot, but most people don't realize that when Jesus was talking about new and old wineskins, it has absolutely nothing to do with the covenants. Before we read these verses, let's get a little bit of context. In first century Judaism, fasting was seen as a way to get God to notice you, and a way to humble yourself before the Father. 1 Samuel 7, So they gathered at Mitzvah and drew water and poured it out before the Lord and fasted on that day and said there, We have sinned against the Lord. Ezra 8, Then I proclaimed a fast there at the river of Ava, that we might humble ourselves before our God. Nehemiah 9, Now on the 24th day of this month the people of Israel were assembled with fasting and in sackcloth, and with earth on their heads. And the Israelites separated themselves from all the foreigners and stood and confessed their sins and the iniquities of their fathers. Now with this in mind, let's read the verses about new and old wineskins in context. Mark chapter 2, and notice that the paragraph header says a question about fasting. It doesn't say anything about the covenants. Verse 18, And now John's disciples and the Pharisees were fasting, and the people came and said to him, Why do John's disciples and the disciples of the Pharisees fast, but your disciples don't fast? So the Pharisees had enacted a corporate fast, and Jesus and his disciples were not partaking. And people were wondering why. And Jesus said to them, Can the wedding guests fast while the bridegroom is with them? As long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. Because it would be inappropriate to fast during a wedding, during a time of joy. The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast. Verse 21, No one sews a piece of unshrunk cloth on an old garment. If he does, the patch tears away from it, the new from the old, and a worse tear is made. It would be inappropriate to sew an unshrunk piece of clothing on an old garment, because you'd waste the patch and ruin the old garment. And now the verse in question, And no one puts new wine into old wineskins. If he does, the wine will burst the skins, and the wine is destroyed, and so are the skins. But new wine is for fresh wineskins. It would be an inappropriate thing to put new wine into old wineskins. None of this has anything to do with the new and the old covenant. What the Pharisees were doing was inappropriate, and that's why Jesus was not partaking. Jeremiah 14, Then the Lord said to me, Do not pray for the welfare of this people. Though they fast, I will not hear their cry. Isaiah 58, Why have we fasted and you see it not? Why have we humbled ourselves and you take no knowledge of it? Behold, in the day of your fast, you seek your own pleasure and oppress all of your workers. You fast only to quarrel and fight. When Jesus was talking about new wineskins, it had nothing to do with the covenants.